You take a slow, measured breath, feeling the rise and fall of your chest. As you exhale, you turn your attention inward, letting your awareness settle gently in your abdomen. Imagine a garden there, a quiet, hidden place where light and shadow dance in soft, imperceptible ways. This garden is unlike any you have seen in the outside world. Its soil is warm and alive, pulsing with the rhythms of life that go unnoticed, yet sustain you in ways you have only begun to sense. Tiny beings, smaller than grains of sand, move in elegant, unhurried patterns. They swirl and spiral, performing tasks that seem choreographed, though invisible to the eye. Some gather nutrients, breaking down the remnants of your last meal with tender precision, transforming them into energy that flows quietly through every cell. Others stand guard, vigilant yet patient, protecting the garden's delicate balance from forces that might disturb its calm harmony. As you watch, or rather, as you feel the movement, there is a strange, comforting rhythm. It is the hum of life itself. Every heartbeat echoes through this hidden place, and every breath you take nourishes it, even without your conscious effort. You sense the slow, graceful exchange between the garden and the rest of your body. The gentle rise of warmth in your blood, the invisible messages carried along nerves and vessels, the subtle signals that tell your immune system when to rest and when to act. You might imagine tiny rivers of liquid threading through the soil, carrying messages in the form of molecules, much like letters sent through a vast, invisible postal network. These letters are read and responded to with quiet intelligence. And in this way, your garden knows itself and the world beyond its walls. Each microbe, each cell, each fold of tissue participates in a vast conversation that hums at a frequency you can almost hear, if only you attune yourself. The garden's inhabitants are astonishingly diverse. Some are builders crafting structures that form the backbone of the ecosystem. Others are gardeners, pruning or harvesting with care, ensuring that every corner remains fertile and balanced. A few move like wanderers, exploring, sampling, tasting, testing the boundaries of their realm. And yet, despite their differences, they exist in harmony. There is no rush, no frantic energy here, only a steady, deliberate pulse that mirrors the slow, deliberate rhythm of your own body. As your awareness deepens, you notice how this hidden garden responds to your thoughts and emotions. When you feel calm, its movement slows and stretches, like sunlight spilling across a field at dusk. When you feel tension, it tightens, compressing and contracting, yet never breaking. It is a mirror, a companion, a reflection of your inner state. And this reflection is patient. It waits for you to notice, but it continues its work even if your mind wanders elsewhere. The air in this secret space is filled with a subtle, almost imperceptible fragrance. Not the smell of flowers, but the smell of transformation, of energy changing form. You might sense it as a warmth, a quiet vibration that moves gently through your body. This is the signature of life's ceaseless work, of matter reshaping itself to sustain consciousness, to sustain you. It is a fragrance of quiet persistence, of tiny victories that go unheralded but are essential. Your body itself becomes part of the garden's rhythm. Every digestive motion, every wave of peristalsis, every subtle secretion carries the echo of this inner world. And as you feel this, you notice that your garden is not isolated. Communicates with the outside world. It senses what you eat, what you breathe, even the gentle touch of sunlight on your skin. Every interaction ripples through this ecosystem, causing microcurrents of adjustment, adaptation, and learning. You might imagine yourself wandering through the garden as if it were a forest. Each fold of tissue becomes a gentle hill, each cluster of microbes a glimmering grove. The pathways wind around unseen streams of energy, and in some places, light seems to glimmer without a source, illuminating the invisible architecture of life itself. You move slowly, deliberately, noticing the way every organism carries out its role with quiet dedication. There is no hurry here. Time is soft, pliable, like the air itself. Sometimes you pause to watch a particular group, perhaps a cluster of microbes forming intricate patterns, almost like calligraphy written in movement. They twist and coil, creating beauty that is functional as well as aesthetic. You feel a wave of gratitude, a deep acknowledgement of the intelligence and care embedded in life at scales far smaller than your eye can see. You realize that this quiet garden has been nurturing you every moment, and yet it asks nothing in return but your awareness, your gentle attention. The garden teaches patience, teaches subtlety. It teaches the value of the unseen. You feel a quiet expansion of your mind as you dwell here, sensing the delicate interplay of energy, matter, and information that sustains not just your body, but the essence of life itself. You notice how your breath moves in harmony with this rhythm, each inhalation nourishing the unseen garden, each exhalation sending a silent thank you back into the depths of your belly. You begin to sense connections beyond the garden itself. Your mind drifts toward the larger ecosystems, the forests, oceans, and skies that hum with similar invisible rhythms. Just as your garden thrives on microcosmic balance, the world outside depends on countless interactions, quiet and persistent, that maintain harmony on scales both vast and minute. You sense the reflection of your own inner life mirrored in the planet's breath, in the steady pulse of tides, in the slow unfolding of seasons. And yet, even as you drift outward in thought, your attention returns to the secret garden within. You feel the gentle pulse of life that cannot be seen, only sensed. The patient, unhurried work that carries the weight of your energy and immunity, that sustains your daily rhythms. It is a reminder that even the smallest beings matter, that quiet persistence has profound impact, that unseen forces shape existence with tender care. Your awareness lingers here, in this private, intimate universe, where time bends softly and the smallest life forms perform their gentle dance. You feel a sense of belonging, a connection to processes far greater than conscious thought. And as you prepare to drift further, to explore the vast networks beyond your inner garden, a soft question arises. What other hidden worlds exist, just beyond the reach of your senses, quietly shaping the life you inhabit? You settle into your chair, or perhaps lie down, feeling the gentle weight of the day on your body. A sip of water slides smoothly down your throat, carrying with it the beginnings of transformation. In your belly, a garden awakens. Each morsel of food you have eaten becomes a note in a hidden symphony, and the orchestra is vast, silent, and tireless. You sense a pulse, subtle and rhythmic, moving like tiny waves along the walls of your digestive tract, though no sound reaches your ears. This is the prelude, the quiet tuning of instruments before the music swells. As food enters your stomach, it meets an acid so precise it could carve sculpture from stone, softening and breaking apart what you consume with gentle insistence. You imagine molecules stretching and bending, unraveling sugars, fibers, and fats. In these folds and chambers, microbes begin their dance. Trillions of them inhabit this inner world, each with a role choreographed over millennia. Some nibble on fibers that your body cannot digest alone, turning them into gases and short-chain fatty acids, invisible gifts that nourish you from within. Others shepherd nutrients into forms your cells can recognize and use, a quiet generosity flowing in microcosms. You focus on a single microbe, tiny and unseen, moving with intent. Its path is intricate, a zigzag through crowded landscapes, brushing against fellow travelers. Each encounter, each chemical handshake, is a note in the symphony. Imagine their movements as tiny bows gliding across strings, producing vibrations that ripple across the microscopic stage. You are aware that this orchestra has no conductor, yet the music is perfect, an emergent harmony arising from countless interactions. The rhythm is so gentle that your own breathing seems to echo it. Your stomach churns softly, a rolling motion that kneads and blends. Acid and enzymes mingle with the food, loosening bonds that have held nutrients together. Proteins unravel like delicate ribbons, exposing their hidden treasures. Fats form droplets, suspended in watery currents, ready to be embraced by bile acids that glide over them like skaters on a frozen pond. Sugars dissolve into streams, flowing along pathways toward absorption. The transformations are chemical, yet they feel almost like a quiet meditation, each reaction deliberate and precise. Deeper in your intestines, the microbes continue their work. Fiber, once rigid and unyielding, is softened and converted into short-chain fatty acids. These molecules drift across intestinal walls, entering the bloodstream, carrying energy and signaling molecules that whisper to your organs and brain. You sense the connection between what you eat and how you feel, a subtle feedback loop that reminds you of the intelligence woven into your being. Every bite becomes a conversation, every swallow a dialogue between your body and the unseen caretakers within. You imagine the microbes singing in their own language, a melody made of chemical reactions and electrical impulses. Some produce vitamins, tiny sparks of light for your cells. Others moderate inflammation, like gentle guardians patrolling your inner landscape. Each note harmonizes with the next, creating a resonance that sustains life without fanfare. You feel the vibration in your own body, a soft hum beneath your awareness, reminding you that health is a collaboration, not a solo endeavor. Your blood flows steadily, carrying the byproducts of digestion to cells that await nourishment. Energy pulses along invisible highways, fueling muscles, neurons, and organs. You visualize glucose molecules traveling with care, electrons dancing along mitochondria, releasing sparks of vitality that warm your cells from within. The process feels sacred in its quiet precision, a reminder that life is both fragile and robust, a network of invisible hands shaping every moment. Even your thoughts seem lighter as you rest in this awareness. The gentle rhythm of digestion mirrors your heartbeat, and you sense a harmony between mind and body. The garden of microbes is not separate from you. It is intimately intertwined with your consciousness, influencing moods, attention, and memory. As you observe this inner symphony, a feeling of gratitude arises for the quiet work happening beyond sight, for the trillions of helpers orchestrating the flow of life inside you. Occasionally, a burble or a soft gurgle rises from your abdomen. You notice it without judgment, recognizing it as part of the music, a transient accent in the ongoing composition. You do not rush or interfere. You allow the process to unfold naturally. Every meal, every moment of nourishment, is an opportunity to participate in this ancient dance. You feel attuned to cycles of energy entering, transforming, and leaving, and you rest in the quiet certainty that your body knows how to care for itself. As the hours pass, nutrients settle into your bloodstream, mitochondria hum softly, and cellular engines keep time with the pulse of your inner garden. The microbes, having performed their essential work, prepare for the next cycle, poised to receive the next wave of food, the next symphony. You sense continuity, a seamless flow from digestion to metabolism to thought and back again. Every molecule is a messenger, every microbe a quiet collaborator, every breath a rhythm in the ongoing performance. In this meditative awareness, digestion becomes more than mechanical. It is a deeply intelligent process, a poetic unfolding of life, reminding you that nourishment is never merely physical. It is emotional, cognitive, and spiritual, a bridge between your body and the vast intelligence of biology. You feel the soft hum of energy moving through you, an invisible thread connecting the microcosm of your gut to the macrocosm of your thoughts, your feelings, and your presence in the world. And as you drift in this calm understanding, you notice the gentlest hint of a question arising in your mind. How does this quiet, intricate work of life connect to the broader rhythms of the world beyond your body? You settle into a calm awareness, your breath slowing, your mind softening. Beneath your skin, in the quiet landscapes of your body, trillions of tiny lives stir. Each microbe, unseen yet intimately close, moves with purpose. They carry messages, exchanged through subtle chemical languages, their whispers traveling invisibly between the cells of your body. You imagine them as tiny messengers, moving along unseen pathways, each carrying notes of balance and guidance. A bacterium releases a signal into the surrounding environment. It is a gentle chemical nudge, received by a neighboring microbe. Another responds, its own signal weaving into the first. You sense the rhythm of this dialogue, a slow, purposeful flow that is invisible but tangible in the way your body feels alive. The conversation is constant, a hidden music that orchestrates digestion, immunity, and the soft hum of metabolism. You rest quietly, aware that you are both listener and participant in this subtle symphony. Your awareness drifts to the gut, a dense garden of life. Here, bacteria cluster in intricate communities, forming networks that communicate like a village of whispering neighbors. They exchange nutrients, hormones, and chemical messages, each interaction shaping the chemical landscape of your body. A signal here may calm inflammation, a signal there may awaken alertness. Everything is linked, and you feel a profound sense of harmony in the unseen work. You imagine these microbial communities as forests, each species a different tree, rooted in invisible soil, branches swaying in chemical winds. Messages flow like pollen carried on gentle currents, landing on receptive neighbors. You picture your immune cells as gardeners, responding to signals, pruning, nurturing, and shaping the environment so that life continues with quiet balance. Every movement, every release, every response contributes to a tapestry you cannot see but can feel in the softness of your breath and the gentle pulse in your veins. In another part of your body, a fungus communicates differently, secreting enzymes that alter the chemical environment, inviting bacteria to respond in turn. It is a patient conversation, unfolding over hours and days, not hurried, not forced. You sense the patience of this dialogue, the way life moves without urgency, in rhythms of resilience and care. Your own cells participate, receiving cues and reacting with subtlety, adjusting metabolism, signaling for repair, or preparing defenses. You are both observer and participant in a network that spans scales too small to see, yet too powerful to ignore. You imagine the chemical whispers as a language without words. Some signals calm, some stimulate, some balance, and some simply pass the time. They create a soft hum, a background music of life that influences your mood, your energy, your thoughts. A certain microbial signal may release molecules that lift a quiet weight from your mind, a subtle relief that feels like the gentle touch of wind on your skin. Another may enhance your alertness, sharpening perception without demanding attention. Everything works together, a choreography of invisible actors, each aware only of its own tiny role, yet contributing to the harmony of the whole. The conversation extends beyond the gut. In your skin, microbes form delicate colonies, shaping the surface where body meets world. They whisper chemical greetings, exchanging molecules that ward off invaders, protect against harm, and signal readiness for repair. You feel the soft presence of these messages like the murmur of distant rivers, flowing quietly across landscapes you cannot see but know exist. Your awareness stretches across this terrain, sensing the balance between millions of voices and the single body they inhabit. You let your mind drift further, noticing that the microbe's conversation affects your own thoughts and feelings. Some chemical messages influence serotonin, the quiet stabilizer of mood. Others guide your metabolism, helping convert food into gentle energy that flows steadily, without harsh spikes. You are both participant and witness, feeling the tender interweaving of countless dialogues that shape each moment. The intimacy of this network is astonishing. It is a whispering universe tucked inside your body, humming softly, never demanding, always present. As you visualize these microbial communities, you see tiny pathways lit with gentle pulses of light, chemical messages traveling through the narrow corridors between cells. Each pulse is a note in an ongoing symphony, a signal received, interpreted, and responded to. You sense the slow rhythm of communication, the way a single molecule can ripple outward, affecting distant cells, distant organs. Everything moves at its own pace, yet there is coherence, a synchrony that connects the smallest microbe to the larger body, the individual to the collective. Your awareness softens further, observing the balance of life maintained through these conversations. Some microbes produce acids that discourage harmful neighbors, others secrete vitamins that nourish your cells. Messages flow in feedback loops, some amplifying signals, others damping them, creating a dynamic equilibrium. You feel this harmony in the subtle energy of your body, in the gentle ease of digestion, in the quiet readiness of your immune system. Each whisper has a purpose, each chemical note a meaning, and yet none of it is hurried. It moves with patience and persistence, like tides caressing a shore over hours and days. You notice the way microbes respond to your own choices. When you breathe deeply, certain signals shift, encouraging balance and calm. When you eat mindfully, nutrients reach cells more efficiently, and microbial messages adjust accordingly. Even your thoughts, your quiet attention, seem to influence the rhythm, as if the awareness you bring acts as a gentle conductor, inviting harmony rather than control. You feel a tender intimacy with this hidden world, a partnership you never see but always experience. In this moment, you realize that your body is not a solitary vessel, but a complex network of conversation. Trillions of unseen voices whisper continuously, shaping your experience, sustaining life, and responding to every change. You are a landscape of connection, an ecosystem where each voice matters, where the unseen dialogue is as vital as the air you breathe. You rest in the wonder of this hidden life, feeling its presence like a soft echo beneath your awareness. You sense that the conversation never truly ends. It moves quietly through cycles of activity and rest, adjusting, responding, shaping, and reshaping. The network is constant, alive in the slow pulse of every second, the gentle movement of every breath. You are immersed in a world invisible yet intimately familiar, a quiet universe humming within you. The awareness of these microbial dialogues brings a gentle calm, a sense that life is always listening, always responsive, always tenderly connected. And as you drift in this awareness, you feel the first hints of energy moving outward, linking the inner whispers to the broader rhythms of your body, hinting at the flows and currents that move beyond microbes into the wider systems that sustain life and touch every moment. You settle into your awareness, noticing first the gentle rise and fall of your belly. Beneath the surface of your skin, a hidden symphony begins, a network of neurons, chemicals, and currents humming quietly, carrying whispers from your gut upward. This is the gut-brain pathway, a luminous bridge connecting two realms of your body, two worlds of perception. Each breath brings your attention there, and with each breath, you feel the slow unfolding of a conversation that rarely reaches the surface of your thoughts. Imagine the vagus nerve as a long, winding river, carrying delicate signals between your belly and your brain. It does not rush, but flows steadily, like the soft pulse of a lantern's light reflected on calm water. With each wave, nutrients, bacteria, and hormones speak to your nervous system, sending messages that shape your moods, your intuition, even your curiosity. These currents are subtle, almost imperceptible, yet profoundly influential. You are not merely thinking your thoughts. Your body is whispering them into existence. As you tune into your belly, notice the gentle swell of digestive rhythm. Muscles contract in slow waves, squeezing and releasing, like soft waves rolling across a tranquil sea. In these movements, your body communicates with your brain, translating chemical and mechanical signals into sensations that ripple through your awareness. Hunger, satisfaction, fatigue, alertness. These are not separate from your mind. They are part of the same luminous circuit. You feel them as whispers, gentle nudges that shape your perception, guiding your choices, your focus, your inner state. Microbes within your gut are quiet companions in this conversation. They break down your food, yes, but also release molecules that influence neurotransmitters like serotonin, the subtle chemical of calm and contentment. Imagine them as tiny gardeners tending the soil of your inner universe, planting seeds that bloom into mood, thought, and sensation. With every breath, you imagine their work, delicate yet profound, the rhythm of their activity entwined with the rise and fall of your own awareness. You are not just a vessel for digestion. You are a garden, and every signal passing through this pathway nurtures the tender growth of your being. Signals flow in both directions. Just as your belly communicates with your brain, your thoughts and emotions send messages downward. When you feel anxious, the rhythm of your gut may shift, tightening or fluttering like gentle ripples across water. When you are relaxed, digestion flows more freely, and the waves of calm reach deeper layers of your body. You become a participant in this dialogue, aware of how your inner state travels along invisible highways, connecting intuition to sensation, thought to feeling, mind to body. Visualize the subtle light traveling along this pathway. It begins in the belly, glowing softly with awareness. With each breath, it rises through your torso, winding past the spine, flowing along the vagus nerve until it reaches the base of your brain. There it pools, a luminous reservoir of information, coloring the way you think, perceive, and respond. You realize that your awareness is not only in your head, it is everywhere within you, coalescing along these hidden currents. Each sensation, each thought, is an echo of a larger, interconnected rhythm. Consider how digestion itself is a form of meditation. The act of breaking down food, of absorbing nutrients, is rhythmic and patient. Enzymes and acids work steadily, methodically, without hurry, and you, in turn, are part of this process. When you slow down and observe it, you create space for the body to speak, space for the signals to travel freely without interference. In this gentle observation, you become aware of the subtle ways your inner world shapes your outer experience. Hunger is not merely a need. It is a signal. Satisfaction is not merely fullness. It is a reflection. You are learning the language of your own body. There is a poetry in this system, in the constant interplay of feedback and response. Your stomach contracts and your brain notices. Your brain releases neurotransmitters, and your belly responds. The microbial world adjusts, chemicals fluctuate, and you breathe with the rhythm of it all. Nothing is isolated. The mind, the body, the microbes, they are engaged in a quiet dance, choreographed over millennia, moving in patterns too subtle to see, yet too profound to ignore. You become a witness to this choreography, each breath a lens through which to observe, each heartbeat a drumbeat marking the flow. As you sink deeper into awareness, notice how emotions rise gently along this pathway. Calm, curiosity, even faint hints of longing. They originate not solely in your mind, but emerge from the conversations within your body. You feel them as currents, light waves rippling through your nervous system, a delicate interplay of sensation and thought. These are not fleeting messages. They are soft, enduring threads that connect your inner universe. You realize that to understand your mind, you must attend to your body. And to honor your body, you must recognize the intelligence in its subtle signaling. You may begin to sense the interconnection of everything in this quiet system. Thoughts of curiosity spark digestive signals. Digestive rhythms influence calm. Microbes shape perception. Breath, awareness, attention, each flows along the same pathways, weaving a tapestry that is uniquely yours. There is no rush, no destination, only a gentle unfolding of understanding. You rest in the knowledge that your mind and body are not separate observers. They are participants, entwined in a luminous dialogue, moving together in rhythm, guiding you toward awareness. In this soft exploration, you feel a lightness in the belly, a grounding in the mind. The bridge between the two is neither visible nor loud, yet it pulses with life and intelligence. You imagine yourself drifting along it, a traveler on a gentle river of signal and awareness, carried by waves of chemical whispers, neuronal pulses, and microbial songs. With each wave, each pulse, you understand more intimately that your body is never silent, that even when you are still, there is motion, communication, and dialogue happening beneath the surface. And as your attention lingers there, at the junction of thought and digestion, you notice the tender interdependence of your inner world. The subtle rhythms, the gentle currents, the soft luminous signals, they carry not only the story of your body, but the story of your experience, shaping perception, guiding intuition, and coloring the mind with quiet intelligence. You rest in this awareness, letting it settle like dew across the landscape of your consciousness. And yet, even as you feel this connection, you sense that there is more to discover. A deeper conversation waiting, a next pathway to explore, moving outward from this luminous, tender bridge. You begin by noticing the subtle currents inside you, the quiet stirrings that usually go unseen. Your gut, a world of microscopic life, is moving through its own seasons, turning slowly, deliberately, like the earth herself. You imagine the first signs of spring, microbes waking from a gentle dormancy, stretching into new life with every nourishing bite of food you take. Tiny blooms of activity pulse along the walls of your intestines, delicate and almost imperceptible, yet full of purpose. Each population shifts in rhythm with the nutrients you provide, with the patterns of your sleep, and even with the soft cycles of your breath. As the warmth of your awareness spreads inward, you notice the summer of your microbiome. Communities flourish. Diversity is high, like a dense forest, every species occupying its own space, each contributing to a complex harmony. Some digest fibers with slow, steady energy, while others break down fats or proteins in quiet, precise choreography. They communicate through chemical signals, unseen yet profound, exchanging messages like leaves rustling in a gentle breeze. You sense that your choices, what you eat, how you rest, the timing of your day, are like sunlight and rain, shaping the growth and energy of this hidden ecosystem. Yet even in summer, there are moments of rest. Some microbes retreat into slower cycles, conserving energy, waiting for the right moment to bloom again. You feel a kind of patience in them, a reminder that growth is not constant, that life thrives in balance between activity and stillness. This rhythm mirrors your own body's ebb and flow, the quiet hours of sleep where cells repair, digest, and renew. As you breathe, you notice your inner world pulsing in tandem with your external one, each inhalation like morning dew, each exhale a gentle breeze across a meadow of microscopic life. Autumn arrives quietly in your gut. Populations shift again. Some decline, others strengthen. This season is not about loss alone, but about transformation. Dead cells and spent microbes become nutrients for the next generation, a cycle of renewal disguised as decay. You imagine the colors of leaves turning slowly, rich reds and golds, as microbes exchange their byproducts, making space for new life. Your digestion adapts, slowing slightly, becoming more deliberate. You feel the soft weight of this season, not as heaviness, but as a gentle reminder of impermanence. Each microbial life, no matter how small, contributes to the ecosystem's story. Winter is subtle. Some communities shrink, some rest almost completely, conserving energy for the next cycle. You imagine a soft frost covering this internal world, quieting its activity. Yet beneath the surface, life is preparing for spring. Even in stillness, there is potential, a gentle promise of renewal. Your body mirrors this rhythm. Slower days, longer nights, deep rest that restores. You notice the interconnectedness of all these cycles. External seasons influencing your internal ones, and internal rhythms echoing the world outside. You feel a deep calm in this realization, a connection to time itself, measured not just in days or months, but in the slow, beautiful dance of microbial life. As you observe these cycles, you begin to see the intricate web of dependencies inside you. Certain microbes thrive only when others produce specific nutrients. Some rely on your fiber-rich meals to flourish. Others bloom in response to bile acids released after fats. These relationships remind you of friendships and communities in your own life. Interdependent, nurturing, and delicate. You imagine yourself as a gardener, tending this invisible ecosystem with care. Each meal, each moment of rest, each mindful breath contributes to its balance. You feel gratitude for the unseen helpers that support your digestion, your immune system, and even your mood. You notice how quickly these cycles can change. A shift in your sleep pattern, a change in diet, a stressful thought, can ripple through your microbiome like a sudden wind through trees. Some communities shrink, others surge, creating new patterns. Yet this flux is not chaotic. There is resilience, a deep stability in the system, as if your internal world knows how to adjust, to recover, to maintain harmony. You feel comforted by this adaptability, a mirror of your own capacity to respond to change. Your attention drifts to the microscopic symphonies happening in every fold of your intestines. Tiny flagella wave like dancers' arms, microbes exchanging signals in pulses of chemical light. Fermentation bubbles rise, subtle and quiet, releasing gases that are part of a natural rhythm. Short-chain fatty acids are produced, nourishing the cells lining your gut, strengthening the barrier that separates the outside world from your inner life. You feel the subtle energy of these processes, a warm, slow hum that vibrates through your body. There is a poetic intelligence in this ecosystem, an unspoken harmony that has evolved over millennia. Microbes coexisting in balance, responding to signals from each other, from your body, from the environment. You imagine a library of knowledge stored in their genes, written in sequences of DNA, accessible only to those who know how to read the language of life. Each species carries its own story, its own strategies for survival. Yet together they compose a symphony that nourishes and protects you. You feel humbled and soothed by the thought that you are part of a continuum of life that stretches far beyond your own perception. As you explore further, you notice the subtleties of timing. Circadian rhythms influence microbial behavior just as they guide your own sleep-wake cycle. Nighttime brings rest for some, activity for others, a choreography tuned to light, darkness, and hormonal cues. You sense the gentle push and pull of these cycles, the quiet harmony between body and microbe night and day. Every pattern is a reminder of interconnection, a whisper of the larger rhythms that guide life on Earth. You imagine guiding your inner world with intention. A fiber-rich meal becomes a morning rain, nourishing dormant communities. Gentle movement and stretches become sunlight, coaxing microbes into bloom. Deep breaths become winds that stir the air in hidden valleys of your intestines. Even moments of stillness and meditation are seasons, allowing some communities to rest and recover. You feel the wisdom in this, the understanding that care for yourself is also care for your inner ecosystem. Gradually, you sense the cycles repeating, predictable yet never identical. Spring follows winter, summer follows spring. Growth, rest, transformation, and stillness continue in a slow, endless dance. You feel the quiet joy of being part of this rhythm, neither separate nor dominant, simply present. Your microbiome is not just a collection of organisms. It is a reflection of your lifestyle, your choices, your inner calm. You notice that by nurturing this world, you are nurturing yourself in return. And as you settle into this awareness, you allow yourself to notice the fragile balance that exists in all living systems. Every microbe, every cell, every breath contributes to the flow of life. The seasons within you mirror the seasons outside, and in their motion you feel a deep, abiding sense of peace. You carry this understanding with gentle pride, aware that the quiet dance of microbes continues even as your mind drifts toward rest, a soft prelude to the next exploration. The subtle, chemical conversations that guide not just your digestion, but your mood, your thoughts, and the very rhythm of your being. You begin your day with a quiet awareness of what enters your body. Each bite of food is not just fuel but a soft invitation to the countless organisms that live within you. A hidden world of delicate life that hums along with your own rhythms. Imagine trillions of tiny partners, bacteria, fungi, and other microorganisms, waiting with gentle patience to meet the offerings you bring. Their presence is subtle, invisible, yet profoundly influential. They shape your digestion, your mood, even your sense of balance in ways that feel almost like a whispered conversation with your inner self. As you slice a crisp apple or spoon smooth yogurt into a bowl, picture the fibers and natural sugars drifting down, guided by gravity, toward the welcoming folds of your intestines. The fibers do not merely vanish. They become nourishment for this teeming ecosystem. Beneficial bacteria feast on them, gently fermenting what they can, releasing tiny molecules that ripple outward, affecting cells and signaling pathways far beyond your gut. The process is slow, rhythmic, and calming, like a river carrying life quietly along its course. You are part of this river, and the river is part of you. Spices, too, play a soft melody within this hidden world. Turmeric, with its golden hue, whispers anti-inflammatory support. Garlic, pungent and lively, nudges microbial balance. Cinnamon, warm and grounding, sends subtle signals to your metabolism. These flavors are not just tastes but messages, gentle nudges that encourage harmony among billions of microorganisms. You feel a connection in each chew, a sense that you are not merely consuming food, but participating in a delicate, living conversation that has been ongoing since the dawn of your life. You notice the sensations in your body as the meal moves down your digestive tract. The gut wall is lined with millions of tiny cells, each one attentive, absorbing nutrients and communicating with the nervous system. The vagus nerve, like a calm messenger, sends signals from your gut to your brain, creating a dialogue that can influence your mood, your focus, even the way you perceive comfort. Each nourishing bite is a bridge, connecting the hidden microbial world to your conscious experience. Gratitude arises naturally, for this quiet network works tirelessly, often unnoticed, to maintain balance and rhythm within you. Fermented foods carry a special kind of magic. Sauerkraut, kimchi, kefir, they are more than flavors. They are living companions. With every spoonful, you introduce probiotics, live bacteria that integrate into your gut ecosystem. These companions do not act alone. They join existing communities, exchanging genes, producing enzymes, and gently shaping the chemical environment around them. This is a form of subtle choreography, a dance of molecules and organisms that keeps your inner world resilient. As you imagine this, you sense a warmth spreading through your abdomen, an almost imperceptible hum of life that mirrors the beating of your own heart. Hydration moves through this landscape, too, like a slow rain nourishing the soil. Water supports the movement of nutrients, carries signals between cells, and maintains the delicate mucosal lining that shelters microbial life. Even the act of sipping slowly, with attention and care, becomes a meditative rhythm. You notice how the cool liquid glides down, touching every surface, feeding both the cells of your body and the microorganisms that dwell in the folds of your intestines. Each swallow is an embrace, each pause a chance to honor the invisible life within. As you continue to eat mindfully, you notice how your senses deepen. The smell of fresh herbs, the warmth of cooked grains, the tang of fermented vegetables, all engage the olfactory and gustatory pathways, sending signals to your nervous system. These signals reach your brainstem and limbic system, areas tied to emotion and memory. Here, food becomes more than sustenance. It becomes a conduit for serenity, an anchor that draws you gently into the present moment. The experience is both intimate and vast, reminding you that even the smallest act, taking a bite, chewing slowly, resonates throughout your inner universe. Fiber-rich foods bring an additional quiet miracle. Whole grains, leafy greens, and legumes provide the raw material for microbial fermentation. Short-chain fatty acids are produced in the process, molecules that nourish the cells lining your gut and influence immune function. You can imagine these tiny molecules traveling, touching distant cells, sending a subtle signal of care to organs far beyond your digestive tract. This is the poetry of physiology, where microscopic actions ripple outward, creating harmony between the seen and the unseen, the conscious and the unconscious. With each meal, there is also a ritual of gratitude. You may pause, feeling the textures, the colors, the gentle energy of your food. In this quiet acknowledgement, your relationship with the hidden world becomes reciprocal. You offer nourishment and it offers support. You provide balance and it returns resilience. The act of eating transforms into a meditation, a slow dance between awareness and biology, a shared rhythm of life that sustains and comforts. Sometimes, a particular flavor sparks a memory, and with that memory comes another gentle wave of emotion, showing how intimately connected your gut and brain truly are. The vagus nerve, the neurotransmitters produced by gut microbes, the immune signals circulating silently, they all collaborate in a quiet symphony that supports your mental and emotional well-being. You feel a sense of wonder at the complexity that exists within your own body, a world that has existed long before you were aware of it, and one that continues its work with calm dedication. As digestion continues, your awareness may drift toward the larger patterns at play. The microbes within you are influenced by seasons, by what you eat regularly, by gentle shifts in your environment. Their diversity, their balance, reflects not only your immediate choices but also the history of your body's interactions with the world. In this way, nourishment becomes a lifelong dialogue, a continuous offering that honors both the immediate and the enduring, the visible and the invisible. You might close your eyes, letting the warmth of this connection settle through your body. The fibers, the spices, the fermented companions. They work quietly, persistently, without need for recognition. And yet, in their subtle presence, you feel a profound care, a gentle reassurance that your body is supported, that your inner world thrives in harmony with the outer. Each breath becomes a soft acknowledgement of this intricate dance, a rhythm that soothes the mind and body alike. The hidden world within you is not separate. It is part of your experience, part of the gentle currents that shape your thoughts, your feelings, your health. In every quiet moment after a meal, you carry the echo of these trillions of tiny lives, their whispers mingling with your own heartbeat. Their activity is soft, constant presence that nurtures, balances, and sustains. You sense gratitude again, a calm joy in knowing that your care for yourself extends inwards, creating harmony that flows in every direction. And as the night deepens, and the gentle glow of rest begins to settle over you, you realize that the nourishment you provide is not just food. It is a meditation, a connection, a dialogue between worlds. And though your awareness may drift towards sleep, the hidden life within you continues its gentle, rhythmic work, quietly preparing you for the calm awakening of tomorrow. You lie down and let your body sink into the gentle curve of the mattress. Around you, the quiet hum of night seems almost alive, like a deep, slow breath that stretches beyond your room. Beneath the surface of your awareness, a tiny forest stirs, invisible but vibrant. This is the world of your microbes, the countless microorganisms that share your body, shaping it, guarding it, and whispering secrets of resilience. As you drift inwards, imagine them as minute guardians, each one carrying a unique role, each one attentive. Some dwell in the lush valleys of your gut, where they help break down the food you eat, turning it into nourishment that your body can use. Others perch along the skin, gentle sentinels that sense intrusion, ready to respond. You do not see them, yet their presence is profound. Their activity is a rhythm, subtle but constant, like a river flowing softly beneath a forest floor. Your immune system, in turn, moves through this forest with careful attention. It is patient and precise, learning to recognize each microbe not as an enemy or a stranger, but as a participant in the balance. You can picture this as a dance. Your immune cells glide silently through the body, observing, noting, sometimes responding with quiet determination. They remember patterns, distinguish the familiar from the unfamiliar, and practice a gentle, ongoing vigilance that never pauses. In this intimate world, the microbes are both teachers and allies. Each encounter with them shapes your defenses, guiding your immune system to respond with wisdom rather than chaos. When a harmless microbe brushes past a cell, it teaches the body what safety feels like. When a more aggressive visitor appears, the immune system reacts, not with panic, but with practiced strategy, calling upon specialized cells to contain and neutralize threats. You feel the elegance of this choreography, the careful calibration of your inner defenses, like an orchestra playing without sheet music, perfectly attuned to the changing environment. Take a slow breath and imagine a shield forming around you, subtle but real. It is not rigid or unyielding, but flexible, adaptive, and alive. This shield is built not from fear, but from understanding and experience. It is made up of memory, of lessons learned quietly over time. The microbes that have touched your skin, your gut, your airways, have left traces, small notes that your immune system reads, storing wisdom for later moments when a stranger approaches. Each microscopic interaction strengthens the resilience that flows through your body like gentle streams converging into a river of protection. Your skin, the outermost boundary, hums with life. On its surface, countless microbes reside, most harmless, some beneficial. You can imagine them forming little villages, moving in patterns almost imperceptible. They feed on tiny oils, balance the ecosystem, and signal silently to your immune sentinels. When a sudden intruder tries to breach this barrier, the immune system notices the disruption immediately, calling forth its patrols, activating chemical messengers that guide defenses to exactly where they are needed. This balance is delicate and beautiful, a constant negotiation between presence and protection. Inside, your gut harbors perhaps the most complex community, a universe within your universe. The bacteria, fungi, and viruses here digest, synthesize, and communicate. They influence your mood, your energy, even your sleep. You can feel, in this quiet moment, the connection between these microbes and your sensations. When you breathe slowly, your thoughts soften, and your awareness touches the rhythm of digestion, the slow breaking down of nourishment, the conversion of what you eat into life-sustaining energy. This is not just a mechanical process. It is a dialogue, a co-creation between your body and its microscopic companions. Consider your white blood cells, small and tireless, moving through the bloodstream like messengers along invisible highways. Some seek and destroy harmful invaders. Others remember patterns, like archivists cataloging the stories of past encounters. Some release signals that call additional help, creating a network of communication that is both precise and flexible. These cells rarely act alone. They are coordinated, as if guided by an intuitive understanding of the terrain they inhabit. You can feel the quiet reassurance of this system, like knowing that unseen hands are arranging the pieces of a complex puzzle around you, so that even if something goes wrong, the whole remains resilient. Tiny guardians patrol in your respiratory tract, lining the surfaces where the outside world first meets your body. They detect dust, pollen, and potential pathogens. Some microbes live here in partnership with your body, training your immune system to tolerate harmless visitors while remaining vigilant against danger. Each breath you take carries lessons, and each lesson reinforces the shield you cannot see. Imagine inhaling the night air and knowing, deep within, that these microscopic sentinels are aware, attentive, and ready to act in harmony with your body's intentions. Sometimes your body responds with inflammation, a slow-burning signal that asks for attention. It is not pain without purpose, but a whisper that mobilizes resources and energy to where it is needed. The warmth of this process, though subtle, is evidence of life actively protecting itself. And even in moments of illness or fatigue, this microbial immune dialogue continues, guiding recovery, fostering adaptation, and sustaining balance. The forest of cells and microorganisms is never still. Its quiet work carries you toward health and equilibrium, teaching your body patience and attentiveness. You may imagine this inner world as a forest of unseen creatures. Each tree is a colony of microbes, each clearing a resting place for immune cells. Streams of lymph flow like gentle rivers, carrying messages and nutrients. Light filters through invisible canopies, illuminating connections that are otherwise hidden. You walk slowly through this forest, barefoot on soft moss, feeling the pulse of life beneath every step. It is quiet, safe, and alive. Each breath, each heartbeat, is accompanied by the gentle rhythm of your internal guardians, dancing in ways too subtle for your eyes, but not for your awareness. Rest here for a moment and sense the depth of this invisible shield. The microbes that coexist with you are not intruders. They are collaborators, sculptors of your immunity, keepers of a balance that has taken millennia to refine. You feel gratitude, a soft awareness of how your body negotiates life's constant exposure to the outside world. You do not need to see every movement, every chemical signal, every patrolling cell to understand the quiet magnificence of this system. Just as the forest thrives without your observation, so does your immune system maintain harmony without your conscious effort. And as you feel this forest of resilience beneath your skin, the microcosm of life moving in harmony, your mind softens. Each cell, each bacterium, each virus acting in concert, reminds you that protection does not require rigidity. It requires attentiveness, flexibility, and patience. You lie in awe of this quiet strength, a shield formed not from walls but from understanding, from connection, from gentle collaboration. And as your body rests within this quiet alliance, you begin to sense how the tiniest threads of life weave the next chapter of your inner journey, leading you toward the mysteries of balance and the gentle rhythms that sustain the world beyond your skin. You settle into a quiet moment, letting your body soften and your mind drift, noticing the subtle hum beneath your ribs. Inside, a world teems with life, microscopic creatures moving with rhythms you cannot see but can feel. They whisper in molecules, tiny signals that reach out to your nervous system, a silent conversation between your gut and your mind. Each message carries a hint of joy, a touch of calm, or a flicker of unease. As you breathe slowly, you imagine these signals as ripples on a still pond. Each microbe's activity sends a wave of feeling outward, touching your consciousness gently, almost imperceptibly. You might not notice every nuance at first, but over time, you sense the ebb and flow of this hidden orchestra. Their movements are not random. They respond to what you eat, what you think, the emotions you carry. The microbes are your companions in a dance of chemical and emotional harmony. Your attention drifts to the concept of serotonin, often called the happiness molecule. Roughly 90% of it lives here, in your gut, produced not in your brain as many imagine. You picture tiny factories along the lining of your intestines, gently crafting this chemical and releasing it into the bloodstream. Each molecule is a note in a larger symphony, blending with others to shape your moods and perceptions. You are both the audience and the stage for this subtle music. Imagine, too, the other molecules that arise in response to different experiences: dopamine, GABA, and a host of lesser-known signals. Some bring calm, a warm blanket of ease that settles around your chest. Others spark alertness, a gentle sharpening of awareness that does not jolt but rather nudges you into presence. This biochemical orchestra is quiet yet persistent, a rhythmic influence that accompanies you through moments of stillness and movement alike. As you rest here, your attention widens to the idea that your gut is not isolated. It is a hub in a vast network, sending messages to your brain and receiving signals in return. The vagus nerve, long and winding, acts like a communication superhighway, carrying the subtle currents of microbial activity to the parts of your brain that shape emotion and perception. You imagine this connection as a soft thread, pulsing gently with each breath you take, linking your inner world to the outer. You notice that emotions are not fixed. They rise and fall, shift and swirl, like gentle tides along a coastline. The microbes respond to these tides, adjusting their own activity, producing molecules in synchrony with your experiences. When you feel a laugh bubble up or a sigh escape, a hidden orchestra mirrors and amplifies these waves, adding texture and depth to your inner life. You are learning to recognize their rhythm, to appreciate the subtle interplay of biology and emotion, a dance that is uniquely yours. Think about the idea of empathy, first toward others and now toward yourself. Your body is not merely a vessel but a collaborator, a participant in the ongoing creation of your feelings. By noticing how your inner ecosystem shapes your mood, you cultivate gentleness, a soft awareness that every surge of happiness or ripple of unease carries meaning. It is neither good nor bad, only informative. You are not at the mercy of your emotions. You are their attentive companion, observing the subtle patterns with curiosity rather than judgment. Breathe in, sensing the gentle rise of your abdomen, and breathe out, feeling the microcosm within respond in kind. Even as you move through your day, this orchestra continues its work, an unobserved yet intimate presence. You might feel a rush of gratitude for a sunlit moment, a warm cup of tea, or the quiet comfort of a familiar voice. Each sensation is influenced by the molecules your microbes release, a reminder that your experience is inseparably tied to the life inside you. Now, envision a small garden inside, each microbe a flower or leaf, thriving in response to care and nourishment. What you eat, how you move, the thoughts you nurture all affect this living landscape. A balanced diet, rich in fiber and variety, is like sunlight and water for this garden. Gentle exercise sends fresh air and light through the pathways of your body, invigorating this hidden world. Mindful reflection and relaxation add soil richness, allowing beneficial microbes to flourish and produce the molecules that guide your moods with elegance and care. You notice how subtle changes in your routine can create ripples in this ecosystem. A late night might stir unease. A calm morning can foster serenity. This is not cause for anxiety but an invitation to awareness. You begin to see that emotions are not simply reactions to the outside world. They are co-created by your internal environment. Your belly is a quiet artisan, shaping feelings that ripple outward, coloring the texture of each moment. As the chapter unfolds gently, you consider the power of observation itself. By simply noticing the rhythm of your internal world, you begin to influence it. Attention is like a gentle hand, coaxing balance, fostering harmony. You are both the audience and the conductor, guiding waves of calm, laughter, or introspective reflection with subtle awareness. The interplay between you and your inner microbes is a dialogue, a soft song that can be felt more than heard, known more than named. You allow your mind to wander to how emotions manifest physically. The slight tightening in your chest, the warmth spreading through your limbs, the tingling of anticipation. Each sensation is layered, shaped by countless chemical signals moving invisibly, tirelessly. You feel connected to yourself in a new way, recognizing that your emotional life is rooted not only in thought but in living biology, a living partnership with the invisible world inside you. Finally, you rest in the sense of gratitude and wonder that arises from this understanding. The orchestra plays on, quietly influencing your moments, and you learn to move with it, rather than against it. Each emotion, each molecule, each microbial rhythm is a note in the symphony of your life, creating harmony that feels personal, tender, and intimate. You close this chapter with a soft recognition. The dance of feelings within you never truly ends, and the next movement of this quiet, flowing symphony awaits, ready to reveal how your inner world shapes the rhythm of thought and attention in the chapters yet to come. You settle into a quiet space within yourself, a place where thought slows and attention stretches outward. In this inner landscape, you unfold a map invisible to the naked eye, a microbial atlas of your own body. Here, each fold and valley of your gut reveals a terrain teeming with life. You notice the patterns emerging, the intricate networks connecting countless tiny beings, each playing a distinct role in the symphony of your inner ecosystem. As you move along this atlas, the first region greets you with gentle warmth. This is the small intestine, a corridor of absorption, a place where nutrients are carefully unpacked and handed off to your bloodstream. You see bacteria here as delicate dancers, swaying in rhythm to the flow of chyme, orchestrating the breakdown of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Each species moves with intention, as though aware of the larger task, aware of the way your body depends on them to transform sustenance into life. In this quiet observation, you notice the diversity. Some microbes glow faintly with specialized abilities, one breaking down fibers you cannot digest, producing molecules that feed your own cells. Others are quiet observers, absorbing what remains, waiting for their moment to contribute. You trace their paths, noting how populations cluster, how balance is maintained, how even tiny shifts can ripple outward, influencing the entire system. It is a delicate choreography, a living testament to the intelligence of small things. Your gaze drifts to another region, the large intestine, where density increases and activity slows to a more deliberate pace. Here, fermentation transforms what was once indigestible into fuel, releasing gases and short-chain fatty acids that nourish the cells lining your colon. You imagine these microbial communities as constellations, each cluster a luminous point in a night sky folded inward, each star holding its own story, its own purpose. Some species shine brighter in this landscape, their metabolic abilities supporting countless neighbors, while others remain in shadow, quietly sustaining the intricate web around them. As you follow the winding paths of your inner map, you begin to sense the interplay between regions. Signals travel along neural pathways, chemical messengers whisper between microbes and human cells. Immune patrols flow like rivers responding to subtle changes. You recognize that this atlas is not static. It is dynamic, responsive, and adaptive. A slight shift in diet, a fleeting moment of stress, even the rhythms of your sleep can ripple across this microscopic universe. The creatures here are not passive. They are active participants in your life, and in turn, your life is shaped by them. In your exploration, you pause to admire the smallest details. Some bacteria extend delicate filaments, reaching outward like branches of a tree, connecting to neighbors and forming tiny networks of information. Others cluster to form protective communities, guarding against invaders. You notice the exchange of genetic material, a subtle language of resilience, adaptation, and survival. Every interaction is purposeful, a reflection of the balance that sustains both them and you. You begin to visualize the microbial map as a layered mosaic. One layer reflects function, who breaks down what, who produces what, who communicates with whom. Another layer captures movement, currents of flow that guide bacteria along the intestinal folds. Yet another layer holds diversity, the vast spectrum of species, each with a unique shape, ability, and temperament. Together, these layers create a living atlas, both complex and elegant, a quiet universe folded within your own. Your mind drifts to the larger connections. You imagine that each microbial action sends a signal outward, influencing mood, metabolism, immunity, and energy. You picture the ways these tiny beings affect your waking life, how the chemistry they produce may soothe your mind or spark alertness, how their balance might influence cravings, digestion, or resilience to illness. The realization is gentle and profound. You are not alone. You are a host, a collaborator, and a guardian of a vast, unseen cosmos. Slowly, you begin to sense a rhythm in this exploration. You trace the paths of microbes as they migrate, multiply, and interact. You notice feedback loops, signals that travel from gut to brain to gut, a conversation both ancient and immediate. You see how changes in one region ripple through the system, a reminder of interconnectedness, of the unity underlying apparent diversity. Even in moments of rest, this microcosm hums quietly, a subtle reminder of life's persistence and intelligence. As you linger over the map, you appreciate its depth. You notice species that specialize in extracting energy from complex fibers, species that produce vitamins, species that influence your immune response. Each has a role, a niche, a reason for being. You realize that the atlas is also a mirror. It reflects your choices, your environment, your habits, and your care. It is responsive to curiosity, compassion, and attention. The more gently you move through it, the more you notice its hidden beauty and resilience. You begin to understand that exploration is not only observation, it is participation. By resting, breathing, and paying attention, you support this intricate system. You imagine each inhalation as a wave of calm traveling through your gut, each exhalation as a ripple that carries gratitude outward. You see the microbial atlas as alive, not separate from you, but intimately connected, an inner world that reflects both the subtlety and the grandeur of life. Time stretches in this meditative journey. You follow clusters of microbes as they interact with your epithelial cells, forming partnerships that sustain your health. You watch them navigate nutrient gradients, communicate through chemical signals, and maintain boundaries against less friendly invaders. Each small act is a story, each interaction a note in a composition that continues whether you notice it or not. And yet, noticing it transforms the experience. It adds awareness, reverence, and a quiet sense of wonder. As the journey winds toward a soft pause, you take one last view of the atlas in its entirety. You see the regions flowing into one another, patterns overlapping and intersecting, a living quilt of intelligence and collaboration. You feel gratitude for the unseen work performed continuously, silently, without fanfare. You recognize that these microscopic beings have shaped you long before this awareness, and will continue to do so in ways both subtle and profound. And as you slowly begin to release the map from your mind's eye, you carry with you a gentle awareness that you are both traveler and host, observer and participant, in a universe quietly humming beneath your consciousness. You feel the pulse of connection, the rhythm of life, and the beauty of diversity folded within your own body. You begin by letting your breath soften, a gentle tide moving in and out, in rhythm with the subtle pulses of life within you. Each inhale carries a quiet curiosity, a noticing of the hidden world that dwells beneath your skin, and each exhale releases tension, the thoughts of the day, the small noises that tug at your awareness. You feel your body, not as a single entity, but as a collection of intricate systems, all humming together in patterns that are ancient and profound. Within your gut, an unseen garden thrives. Tiny organisms, so small they escape sight, move with patient constancy, performing the work of digestion, of immunity, of signaling your brain in ways you cannot fully trace, yet you feel them. Each microbe, in its microscopic diligence, is a gardener tending the soil of your inner world. They break down what you eat, they produce molecules that travel to distant parts of your body, and in this work they create a quiet symphony, one that you cannot hear with your ears, but that your cells recognize, that your consciousness can sense as a soft resonance of harmony. You imagine these microbes as gentle artisans, shaping a landscape that is unseen, yet vital. They cooperate in ways that mirror life itself. Some flourish on the products of others, some signal when there is imbalance, some migrate toward the areas that need care. And as you breathe slowly, deeply, your awareness becomes a gentle observer of this hidden choreography. You are not separate from it. You are the space in which it unfolds, the body that hosts it, the mind that witnesses it. Your heart beats with a soft, steady rhythm, echoing the pulse of life on a scale both intimate and universal. Blood carries oxygen to every cell, delivering the spark of vitality. Your lungs, expansive and patient, move air with precision, feeding the molecules that sustain the smallest cellular processes. You feel your muscles relax, your skin softens against the quiet surface you rest upon, and the integration of body and mind deepens. There is no hurry here, only the gentle unfolding of awareness. The microbes, in their patient labor, create molecules that travel quietly, almost like whispers, telling your body that all is well. Short-chain fatty acids nourish the cells that line your intestines, sending messages of calm to your brain. Neurotransmitters, small chemical letters of communication, circulate and influence your moods, gently reminding you of the deep connection between mind and body. You realize that balance is not an absence of activity, but a carefully tuned conversation between countless participants. Your gut, often hidden, becomes a quiet cathedral of life. Each bacterium, fungus, and virus participates in rituals of growth, decay, and renewal. They process fibers you cannot digest, releasing compounds that influence immunity, metabolism, and even mood. You imagine the chemical symphony as a soft lullaby, vibrations that travel invisibly, yet palpably, within the spaces of your body. You feel the subtle currents of this hidden world, the rhythms aligning with your own heartbeat, with the rise and fall of your breath. Your nervous system, a network of exquisite sensitivity, transmits signals that you do not consciously notice, yet which shape your experience of the world. The vagus nerve, stretching from your brain to your gut, is a messenger of serenity, carrying information about calm and safety. You sense the gentle flow of these signals, like a river meandering through valleys of awareness, smoothing sharp edges, carrying nourishment, connecting the inner universe with your conscious mind. Even your immune cells, those vigilant sentinels, work quietly and efficiently, patrolling the landscape of your body. They recognize what belongs and what does not, maintaining equilibrium without fuss or drama. Their presence is a reminder that balance does not always announce itself with grandeur. Often, it is the quiet consistency of countless small actions, imperceptible yet essential. You feel gratitude for these hidden forces, sensing their importance not through sight or sound, but through the deep, gentle reassurance that all is functioning as it should. Your mind drifts slowly, settling like dust in a sunbeam, observing without interference. Thoughts arise and fade, like clouds moving across a soft sky. You notice that the quieter you become, the more you can sense the rhythm of your body, the whispers of molecules traveling, the soft tap-tap of chemical conversations, the subtle warmth of energy moving through every cell. Each moment of awareness is a connection to a network of life that extends from the visible to the microscopic, from the conscious to the unconscious, from you outward and inward simultaneously. The idea of harmony feels tangible now, not just an abstract notion. You imagine your body as a forest in balance. Trees, fungi, insects, and soil microbes all contributing to the ecosystem. Each necessary, each interconnected. Nothing acts alone. Even the smallest microbe has a role, a purpose that reverberates outward, influencing the health of the whole. You are that forest, the environment in which life thrives quietly, steadily, with gentle persistence. You notice the soft integration of your senses, how your heartbeat, breath, and subtle energy align. The warmth of your body merges with the quiet patterns of your mind. You sense the microbes continuing their patient work, the chemical messages moving through your bloodstream, the neurotransmitters signaling calm, the immune cells patrolling silently. Each system trusts the others, each contributes to the whole. And in this observation, you feel a profound reassurance. Life, even at the smallest scale, is persistent, resilient, and exquisitely coordinated. Even as your awareness settles deeper, you recognize the constancy of change within balance. Cells divide, molecules shift, microbes communicate. You are part of a process that is never still, yet always harmonized. There is beauty in this invisible diligence, the fact that life continues quietly and faithfully, whether or not you notice it. And noticing it now brings a sense of calm, a gentle lull, a recognition that the world inside you is as alive, as patient, and as serene as the night sky above. You feel a soft harmony spreading from the center of your being, radiating outward to every limb, every fingertip, every corner of perception. Your body and mind integrate more fully, and the sensation is one of warmth, of lightness, of serene presence. The invisible universe within you whispers a lullaby of balance, a song of health, a gentle reminder that life is thriving unseen. You rest into this awareness, not with tension or effort, but with the acceptance of a quiet, enduring grace. As you linger in this state, you realize that balance is a living, breathing presence. It does not demand attention, yet it is always there, ready to guide and nurture. You feel the soft hum of life in every cell, the constant dialogue of the microbes, the gentle pulse of your heartbeat, the steady flow of breath. Each contributes to a quiet harmony that cannot be forced, only observed, appreciated, and allowed to deepen. And in this final awareness, as your body sinks more comfortably into rest, you notice that the inner universe continues, patient and unhurried. The microbes carry on their work. Your cells, your molecules, your very essence hum with life and balance. And as you exhale slowly, you understand that the journey does not end here. It continues, gently, rhythmically, a continuous unfolding of harmony that you can feel, quietly, without needing to chase. The soft lullaby of your inner world settles around you like a warm blanket, a reassuring presence that reminds you. Life thrives, unseen yet profoundly real. And as your consciousness drifts toward the edges of sleep, a gentle thought lingers, a whisper of curiosity, a soft invitation, reminding you that this balance, delicate and enduring, is only one chapter of the vast, unfolding story of you.